podcasting. Anyone ever thought about having a podcast? Where do I start? Where do I begin? Here's a tip for you, something that I use, Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. It is absolutely free, and they provide all the creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your computer, phone, tablet, whatever device you have. Super convenient. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. Your podcast could be on Spotify, Apple Play, or Google. Grow your listeners and get as many people as possible to listen to your podcast and perhaps make some money. Everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Let's do it.
The Disney Vibes Podcast, talking insider tips, tricks, and pixie dust. For the most magical place on earth, here's Andrew and Heather.
Welcome to episode 18 of the Disney Vibes Podcast. I am your host, Andrew, joined at the round table by someone who is yawning.
I'm sorry.
No yawns
It's been
allowed.
a long week. Hi, everyone. It's Heather, the co-host.
Yeah, there's no yawning allowed.
I know.
No.
I know.
All right, Disney Vibes brought to you by Magical Destinations Travel. Book mdtravel.com. Like the podcast, spread the word, show some support. One of our agents will be with you to help you assist in planning your vacation. There's no obligation for a free quote and no cost to you ever. And please make sure as you spread that word, you can download the Disney Vibes podcast wherever you get your podcast content from. If you like it, help us out by providing feedback and a rating as well. We greatly appreciate your support. Are you awake over there?
I am.
I don't know about it.
I know.
Yeah, come on, you got a joke. Everybody's waited with bated breath here for your joke.
I have a joke.
Oh,
I
my
do.
Lord.
All right. Are we ready?
I'm never ready.
How does Mickey feel when Minnie is mad at him?
How does Mickey feel when Minnie is
Mad at him.
I don't know.
Mouserable.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
You can definitely go wah, wah, wah. There it is. Yes.
Mouserable.
Mouserable. Oh, I have another one here.
No. One a week. One a week. I don't think my blood pressure can take more than one a week.
Oh, Lord. That was planned.
You need a good comeback.
That was a wah, wah, wah.
You need a good comeback.
All right, I got it. I'm on the assignment.
I meant for next week.
I know.
Oh, you're already ready. But are you going to be awake for it next week?
Yes, I will be.
All right, this or that. You ready? Would you rather?
Oh, my. Okay.
All right, you ready? Would you rather live in Neverland, like Peter Pan,
Yep.
or live in an arcade like Wreck-It Ralph?
Neverland.
Why?
Why do you always give me the why?
Well, because why are you choosing Neverland?
Because you never have to grow up.
Okay. You're in a video game. You have infinity lives.
I don't care. Wreck-It
just
Ralph,
asking.
you do the same thing every day. Try to stay alive.
Okay.
I win.
Yeah, I don't know about that. TikTok Croc will be all over you there. So
That's true.
anyways, lots of news that came out this week. Something that just got released today that I do want to discuss. Not Disney related, but it is Universal related. I know we had talked about Universal having another gate opening up in 2025 a couple episodes ago. However, Super Nintendo World will be opening 2023.
Crazy.
Well, it's also, remember, I'm not talking Florida here. It's Universal Studios Hollywood.
Oh,
So the first Super Nintendo World in the U.S. is set to open at Universal Studios Hollywood in 2023. And they have opened other ones across, the pond, across the river, across the oceans. And it's going to be exciting because the countdown is beginning to the land's exciting debut. They are going to unveil a takeover of its popular feature presentation retail store with Super Nintendo World theming opening soon. So this will be located just inside the theme park's main entrance, and guests will have a chance to share their excitement for the land's 2023 arrival by gearing up with merch such as Mario and Luigi themed apparel and iconic character hats and so on and so forth. Now, more information will be coming. Now, here's your trivia question for the day, Heather.
Okay.
Why did they announce it today?
Today. What's today's date?
Oh, here we go.
Today's 9,
I guarantee
10?
you everybody is screaming at their radios right now saying, Heather.
Oh, guys. I'm sorry. 2023.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the year. The date, I said. The date.
Super Nintendo World. I don't know. There's something significant about the date. Mario. I feel like we're doing what we did the other night with the emojis. I don't know.
Okay. Today is March 10th. Do I need to spell it out for you? I'm writing it on the wall, folks. A R 10.
Like merch? No, what? I don't know. March.
MAR 10. Put it together. Oh my goodness. It says Mario.
Oh.
This is what I deal with. This is scary. Oh, anyways.
My headphones came out.
Yeah, you're a mess.
MARCH, and then
No, MAR 10, March 10th. MAR,
No,
the ones in I,
no.
the zeros. No, don't
no,
try. Anyways.
No. There has to be. Please tell me I'm not the only one that was not getting that. Please contact us.
Mario
put it
Day.
on socials. Say Team Heather because I have no idea.
I'm just going to cut her mic off.
Ay.
All right, moving on, folks. Since we went down that rabbit hole, and Heather can never get on the rails for anything in this show. All right, so some exciting news that came out of Walt Disney World, and we're feeling those Disney vibes, is more experiences have been added as selections to Disney Genie Plus. We had talked about this last week, but basically starting tomorrow, the following experiences will be added as selections to Disney Genie Plus. Tomorrow being March 11th. Got it, Mario Day. Got it. Magic Kingdom, Disney's Festival of the Fantasy Parade, and at Disney's Hollywood Studios, you can see Disney stars at Red Carpet Dreams. So again, now you can meet Mickey and Minnie, and it could be Mousefulous or whatever you said before, right? And all through Genie Plus. So again, they're adding more and more attractions. So again, in the right direction, tiptoeing, pushing the pebble forward on how to slowly get back to a sense of normalcy, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
You know? The one thing I also that kind of attracted some chatter on the socials recently is the Mary Poppins attraction at Epcot. It looks like it's canceled.
No way.
So it was the first ever Mary Poppins attraction. It was slated to come to Epcot's United Kingdom Pavilion as part of a Cherry Tree Lane expansion. But we don't know what's going on because in the last year plus since reopening, there hasn't been much more information about the postponed Mary Poppins attraction slated for Epcot. We know details have been released about the Future of World Showcase, and the Cherry Tree Lane expansion was absent from those plans. So, and now Walt Disney World has, where they're knee-deep in their 50th anniversary. Other updates have come out, but it's been crickets on the Mary Poppins ride. So maybe it's an indefinite delay, right? And that could be Disney's way of gently stating that it's been canceled,
Or postponed.
It could be. I mean, but I know a lot of people have asked, like, what about it? So the speculation has been that it has been canceled. Disney has not. Well, they made a PC statement basically saying, as with most businesses during this period, we are further evaluating long-term project plans.
Okay.
So the decision was made to postpone development of the Mary Poppins-inspired attraction and Spaceship Earth at this time. So that's kind of where we're off. So it's postponed, like you said. It could be shelved indefinitely. Who knows? But for those big, spoonful of sugars make the medicine go down fans, you're going to have to hold off. Maybe they will revisit those plans later on. It was definitely something cool that I was going to, be interested to see how that went.
I have a little bit of a, sentimental feel when it comes to Mary Poppins.
Okay.
Our first trip when we took Sophia to Disney, that was her first Disney character she saw when we went in.
Right, and that's a real person, so it's totally different.
Right, it's different, but it was the first one we saw. She was in, when you come down Main Street, like to the corner to the right where there, I believe, the ice cream stand is.
That back
yeah,
area.
yeah. No, it was very sweet. So we
Good.
shall have to see.
Sounds good. The other things that they are talking about, so as part of Epcot's reimagining, Walt Disney World planned a multi-year Spaceship Earth refurbishment and overhaul, and that obviously reimagining was delayed indefinitely due to the closure, but the enhancements are still planned. So there is going to be a reimagined Spaceship Earth, because, I mean, let's be honest, it's dated.
It is.
You know, I mean, they're going to have new scenes, but, you know, we know that obviously the delay is not a secret. Things have changed a lot in the last 2 years. It was announced February 25th, 2020, with Spaceship Earth slated to close a couple months later in May, Memorial Day weekend. And that ended up being true. It did close, but that's because all of Walt Disney World closed less than a month after the announcement in March. So, and it remained closed until mid-July. So Epcot did reopen, and Spaceship Earth returned with it. So if you are currently going to the parks, I would definitely check it out. I really thought their plan was, I mean, this is 2 years ago, Epcot celebrates their 40th anniversary this upcoming fall. So I figured when they closed Spaceship Earth, that was going to be a big launch for them for their 40th anniversary this upcoming fall. But, you know, they lost, we know, a ton of money and everything like that. So,
Right.
Again, maybe, I don't want to say it's canceled, right? I mean, I want to say the reimagining is easy to cancel because the work technically hasn't begun because it's still open.
Right.
So they could definitely still make some tweaks, you know, maybe a soft goods refurbishment like they do with the hotels. But we'll see. It's operational, and I do believe the replacement at some point, people will be into it, but it's not going to be a marketable addition to cause first-time guests to book trips to Walt Disney World.
I understand. And for anybody
It's just the
who,
iconic part.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So for anybody who doesn't know what attraction or ride we're talking about the big
What are you going to call it?
ball/globe. Well, I'm going to say really.
Braden calls it
globe.
a golf ball.
Golf ball. Epcot's main feature.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it could go down for refurbishment after Guardians of the Galaxy opens in the summer, right? And if not, perhaps once the 50th anniversary ends in 2023. I would say a year from now, it would probably close. So let's say April 2023. That way, 50th anniversary is over, and they're going to start to, you know, refurbish it and go like that. You know,
I agree.
It was October 1st, 1982, Epcot opened. So I don't think, you know, it'll be the fourth update to Spaceship Earth,
Wow.
and it's definitely needed. So
Right.
I'd say it's an ambitious undertaking nonetheless with all of that. Okay, so we are gearing up for spring break 2022, obviously, and Walt Disney World has a lot of news. There's a lot of changes with park hours, extended evening hours, the return of traditional character meet and greets, parks operating at reduced capacity on a permanent basis, and so forth. So let's start with basically the operating schedules. And right now we know the calendar is running through May 18th, and here are the hours for most dates that are added for spring 2022. So Magic Kingdom, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Epcot's 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Hollywood Studios, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And Animal Kingdom is 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Disney Springs, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. It does go to 11:30 on the weekend. So a couple of exceptions. Magic Kingdom could have some closures due to just could be park rentals, could be a bunch of different reasons, but they could have some of that. So always check the calendar for when you are there online. And then obviously remember there are early entry and there are the extended evening hours as well that you may want to check on as you start to plan your trip. But, you know, the big thing is capacity. The crowds are there. Spring break is coming. We know they're going to be there. What is going to be interesting is we know how the increase in fuel pricing has kind of driven travel to a whole new level, whether it be airline or car rentals. So leave yourself extra time, you know, for that component, especially getting to the airport because security is tightened because of the current world events.
There's that, and actually, the month of March and April are very, very busy months in Orlando International Airport, where there are many events going on besides just spring break. I believe there's like a bike week going on, cheer fest. I've been seeing a lot of the Disney pages that we belong to on Facebook, just people saying that the airports are very overwhelming. So give yourself some time, keep in mind, be patient. It's all worth it in the end.
Right. And, as they're talking about these hours extending and expanding, one thing that just got released by Disney today is there's now bookings available for Starlight Safari at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. So just in time for Earth Day coming up, the thrilling Starlight Safari Tour at Animal Kingdom Lodge is now bookable for dates beginning April 22nd and beyond. And so basically, what this experience is you would get to climb aboard an open-sided safari vehicle and witness the wild as it comes to life on an after-dark safari tour, which typically you only can get to see during the day because the park closes at around 7 o'clock. So you get to feel the cooler air, you see the scenery, you see really what goes on with those 30 species of African wildlife on that nighttime expedition. And again, you don't see it much, and it's not at the park. It's at the lodge. That's the difference. You got to make sure you go to the Animal Kingdom Lodge. Obviously, reach out to your agent if you want more information about that. Okay, before we get to this week's topic, I have some further thoughts about Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser.
Oh, boy.
So a lot of people have been on it now. They've had their the media, obviously, release of it. They've now had paying guests, and the incredible component of it is, and people say it's worth it, okay? But it's not a vacation. You have to, it's almost like you have to have your data pad, which they'll give you. You don't have to use your phone, but you need to play a part, and you can make your own character. So people are literally not just like, okay, you wanted to be Rey. That's not really going to work in the story. You are Mouseketeer 1 or something. I don't know what you want to call yourself. That was, lame. But you create your own character, your own story, what planet you're from, and you are really into it. Now, the cast members that are on the Halcyon themselves, they are a totally different breed of cast members because they're equity actors. So they are legit actors.
Oh, wow.
So they are in part all the time, 24/7. And there are, what I've seen on the socials is there are a ton of people that are literally, they would go to bed at 4 a.m. and up at 7.
Wow.
And it's not even 48 hours. So it's less than that. And so, your food's included. I get it. People are, I don't want to say justifying it, but you really, and you get to choose. It's a choose your own adventure because you can miss something. So that's where Disney's going to reel you back in for multiple times because it's a choose your venture. If you're with the Resistance, right? If you're with the First Order, or if you're just a scoundrel on the side, playing a part, that's 3 times you could be going.
Right.
So people are loving it. I don't know. I mean, you have to be into it though. Like there is no time for a break.
No, not at all. And I think if you are that family, that person who is into it, who eats, sleeps, dreams, Star Wars, like that expectation, like you're gonna be pumped. You're gonna be pumped.
Yeah, you're going to literally be in the movie and creating that storyline as you go through it. So it is cool. And if you blink, you could miss something. They did say the lightsaber training and the bridge training was absolutely awesome. So those components were great. So I did hear, at one point on one of the, excursions, when they went to Batuu in Galaxy's Edge, of course, Rise was down. So that's kind of disappointment.
Oh.
But what are you going to do?
It happens. They'll get... hopefully another opportunity to go, or just not a fast pass, but little.
Right. Okay, so we talked about Genie Plus. They're adding more and more. I did want to touch base on pretty much a one-day Hollywood Studios Genie Plus priorities, Lightning Lane, ride, ranks, this, that. What should your plan be as you start to, and I don't mean plan B, but what should your plan B, not plan B.
Your plan of action.
Yeah, we go plan A. However, as we start to look at how you should delve into this plan of action, like my lovely co-host said, is you want to get the best of both worlds. And we've always said Genie Plus at Hollywood Studios is definitely going to be a good idea. And everything can change because there's so many variables between crowds, weather, ride closures, stage show times. It's going to impact how that actual day at Walt Disney World plays out. So a sample itinerary that we're kind of talking about, it cannot be replicated step by step with the exact same Lightning Lane time slot. Like, it can't be pinpointed. However, our hope is to kind of guide you and give you some kind of dynamic plan of attack for using Genie Plus in Hollywood Studios if you only have one day there. Right. I mean, that's the focus. So, again, this assumes you want to pay to play as well, right? And you're going to use the Genie Plus paid Fast Pass option rather than just using standby lines. So, and again, that is our recommendation. But again, if you know the basics for that, this is how we're going to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Tweak it.
Just keep it in the back of your mind, and then you could base our strategy behind it, and then apply it to your day.
Okay, so Genie Plus, remember 7 a.m. That's your go time. So set your alarm. What I would say is you book Slinky Dog Dash via Genie Plus.
Okay.
With a Lightning Lane return window, depends upon quick, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, could be that quick. I don't, that books up quick.
Right.
But in a perfect world, hopefully you get an earlier return time, but it doesn't always work, even if you're, quickly refreshing right at 7 a.m. on the dot. So, that would be my thing is book Slinky Dog, and then you'll be good. 8:30, you rope drop Mickey and Mickey's Runaway Railway via standby with early entry. Remember, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. However, I would also say now that's included. So we may, because these things shift so, quickly,
right.
Things change. We may change that. But let's just go with that. So you rope drop because it's the first thing you're getting in as you go in. You get Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and you're done. So 9:15, Toy Story Mania via standby line.
Okay.
Right? You should be able to get through that. About 10 o'clock, Alien Swirling Saucers, standby. Are you with me?
I am.
10:30, Star Tours The Adventure Continues, standby. So I know you're saying right now it stinks. I'm waiting in 3 standby lines for popular rides, but it's going to happen because of the top-heavy nature of the attractions there. You're going to, almost certainly have one more Genie Plus Lightning Lane reservation in late afternoon than in the morning or early afternoon. It's just the way it works out because of crowds. So we want to knock out those easier attractions via standby earlier on. Okay, so suggestion would be Muppet Vision 3D around a little before 11. So while waiting for Muppet Vision, you can then book Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run via Genie Plus with a Lightning Lane, hopefully between 2:30 and 3:30. Now, 11 a.m. is chosen because it's 2 hours after park opening, which is consistent with how the Genie Plus 120-minute rule works at Walt Disney World. So that is the rule that governs when you can make your next Genie Plus ride reservation, and it's very important to understand. So park opened at 9. Well, early entry sign. 9 a.m. is regular gate. 2 hours later, you can make your next Genie Plus selection. Question so far?
No, but just something to remember is if you stay off property, you cannot do any of your Genie Plus options until you get on property or
Correct.
To the park.
In the park. So, again, that's one benefit of staying on park, as well as early entry, extended evening hours, depending upon your resort, as we mentioned on previous episodes. So, 11:30, maybe you can see Minnie at Red Carpet Dreams. Now you can also Genie Plus that if you wanted to, but I wouldn't Genie Plus a character meet and greet, unless that's the only thing you're trying to do that day. So you could do Minnie or Olaf, whichever character kind of appeals to you more, but the lines, they could be short, so I wouldn't worry about it. So 12 o'clock, you could catch Indiana Jones, Epic Stunt Spectacular. And then that's from there, you would then kind of go shopping.
Ooh, sign me up.
You go shopping, and then again, now 1 o'clock, again, it's that 2 hours, right, after your last reservation. Then I would book Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith via Genie Plus with a Lightning Lane return window later in the day, 4, 5, 6 o'clock at night. So now, Lightning Lane return times for every attraction except Slinky Dog Dash get refilled or roll over throughout the day. So you have to understand that. So if you only see late evening return times when first opening up My Disney Experience to book an additional Genie Plus Lightning Lane, give it a few minutes and you should see some earlier times. So as with many aspects of Genie, this is, pretty much continues to change and evolve. So that you may not experience that. Then I would have lunch or a good meal. It could be sci-fi. It could be a Hollywood Brown Derby, whatever you decide. So then around 3 o'clock, again, going with 9, 11, 1, 3, right? Book Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. Return time could typically be 4 to 5. Are you with me?
I am. So what I'm just trying to also figure out is if everything is 2-hour increments, aren't you going to just have the same amount of time, the same time slots per ride?
Well, that's where you would choose them.
Right.
So the times that I've said are times, and remember, they get just what I just said, they get refilled.
Right. I understand.
It's like they release more times. And because people are changing, they're canceling. Like it's so adaptable quickly on the fly. People may be canceling. Oh, I got to go home, or I'm going back to the hotel. We're tired. They cancel their reservation, and then that changes the whole thing.
Right.
That's part of where Genie comes in. Is it's using all that AI to kind of guide you to those areas.
Right.
And it's already going to have all of your other reservations, so it should not overlap times. Does that make sense?
It does. The one thing that, it's just hard for me at times is because we haven't experienced it yet.
Right. I mean,
so it's all through knowing, researching it and then hearing from friends of ours that have gone. So I really need to get there. Can we go
soon?
Tomorrow?
Yeah, not tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So 3:10, let's say that's your ride time return for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run with your Genie Plus ride reservation. Right after that, 3:40, we talked about 7 a.m., Slinky Dog Dash.
Slinky Dog.
Right, via Lightning Lane and your Genie Plus reservation. 4 o'clock would be your Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith via Lightning Lane. And I would definitely arrive early to that. And then 4:20, Twilight Zone, Tower of Terror via Lightning Lane. So that kind of gets you to most of the headliners, right? So I would say by that time when you're all done, all the headliners in Hollywood Studios will be sold out for the day. So that's when you want to book a new Genie Plus Lightning Lane ride reservation for a headliner in Epcot. Because it's right there where you'll park hop for Harmonious.
Oh, good.
Right?
Yeah.
So you'll go to the fireworks show anyway because unless, Phantasmic comes up, which it's supposed to be, but let's just, for argument's sake right now. 4:45, we can always have fun at Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. We have fun with that. And then you can definitely get some Starbucks and do the Frozen sing-along. And then 6 o'clock is where you'd want to try to do Star Wars, Rise of the Resistance via standby line. After seeing what the wait time, if it's dropped to about 80 minutes, that's ideal, right? And you could do it standby. Now, if you're going to do an individual Lightning Lane, have at it. I'm not talking about purchasing it for the $15, for that specific ride. Not mentioning that now, but if you do that, then you can do that at any point. But this is just a plan with just Genie Plus.
Sure.
So if it drops to 80 minutes standby time, that's a lot shorter than the typical 120 to 180 that we've all seen, earlier in the day. And the wait times always tend to peak early. That's where people usually try to jump, right? Either there or to Toy Story Land. So
right.
I would say at 80 minutes, Disney always inflates their times, so the actual wait time would probably be less than an hour. 15, 20 minutes is usually what their inflation of time is. And then from there, I would just park hop over to Epcot via the Skyliner and then pick up your evening from there. So that's what I would do. I mean, it's a long day. You're starting, you get up at 6:30 or whatever. You get your first, Slinky Dog Genie Plus selection, and then, you're getting on the bus or wherever your transport mode is to the parks from your resort and getting into the early park entry at 8:30. And again, we always say get there even before that because typically they open the gates a little early.
Right.
So, and this is just theoretical. it's based on assumptions, capacity, allocation, demand. Things can definitely change, whether it be spring break week, Christmas week, Thanksgiving week, summertime. I mean, there's so many variables. But I do think that this is a good attack for it, right? And it could be a way, we're trying to illustrate a way of how you can use Genie Plus. If you've never used Fast Pass or Max Pass at Universal. So I think it's an efficient day at Hollywood Studios. And again, it really, really depends on what, your circumstance. I mean, if you have infants and little kids, things are going to change.
Yeah. You got to think about, honestly, too, what's best for your family. If you're going to power through this, I'm thinking like our kids may be able to handle it. However, just know the next day needs to be a more, I don't know, like
pool day, and that's fine.
Or incorporate, some rest time, because the first couple days go, and then you can get fatigued and people get cranky, and it's like I don't know what they call it, but it's something.
I don't know.
You know what
Yes.
I mean? Like there has to be a term.
Yeah, the biggest challenge with this is everything's backloaded with Genie Plus, and that starts with Slinky at 7 a.m. So the return times are backloaded towards the end of the day. So so the challenge then is filling out your late morning, midday with whether it be a table service, character meal, stage shows, whatever you want to do to kill time before your Lightning Lane return times roll around. Now, depending upon where you stay, if you're at Beach Club or Boardwalk or Swan and Dolphin or any of those, it's so close. You could go back, hang out for 3-4 hours, or be wherever the time is, and then be able to continue on with the day. Again, it's not. We're not trying to sell the idea of buying Genie Plus and Lightning Lanes, but just to illustrate kind of like a plan of attack of how Genie Plus could prove advantageous for days you opt to purchase the add-on. Again, Hollywood Studios, we definitely recommend it and Magic Kingdom versus the other two, versus Epcot and Animal Kingdom. So that's pretty much where I wanted to go with today. I know we covered a ton of information. Heather will post it.
I will, for sure. Yep.
In a nutshell, she'll sum it up, with it. But all right, other than that, Heather, final thoughts, because I think that's going to wrap up this episode.
Yeah, I think it's going to wrap it up. But thanks for sharing that plan. I think it's definitely worth exploring and seeing if it'll fit into your schedule. Any questions whatsoever, please reach out to us on our socials. So on Instagram, you can find us at Magical Destinations Travel Co. Facebook, Magical Destinations Travel. And Twitter, Magical Dest Trav, and of course our website, www.bookmdtravel.com.
You good?
Yes, I'm good.
You got your joke ready for next episode?
Oh, it's coming.
All right, live life, do what makes you happy. Let the Disney vibes flow.
Find Disney Vibes for all your vacation needs on the web at bookmdtravel.com.